I call this meeting to order of the Madison Elementary School District Governing Board with my sword. And I have my little rabbit here. I'm feeling very prepared for this meeting today. First of all, wow, thank you to Madison Simus third grade students. Your pitches were extraordinary. We are blown away, and we have shopped to our absolute heart's delight. Would you all please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Oh, we have to do the roll call. Sorry, we're just learning this job, apparently. Ms. Humphries, can you please call the roll?
President Kazi.
Here.
Vice President Hunt.
Here.
Member Thompson.
Present.
Member Gresham.
Here.
Member Holcomb.
Here.
All are present.
Thank you. All right, when you are ready, we will stand and we can start.
No, you can start right here. You're okay. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much again. All right, I will accept a motion. Is there any additions to the agenda or any changes? Is
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
there a second? It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Please vote.
I can't find the agenda.
Oh, click on, and then you'll see the date. This is our second meeting with a new operating system, and today it's messing with us. Yes. Oh, here we go. We got it. Has everyone been able to vote? All right, and the motion carries. Is there a need for an executive session? Seeing none, we will move to the consent agenda. Are there any additions or subtractions from the consent agenda before I entertain a motion to approve? Pardon? Oh, I'm so sorry. I do not like this system. I do not like the system. All right, item number 4, communications and announcements. Presentations and recognitions. Dr. Guerin, would you like to introduce this item?
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, I'd like to ask Ms. Ann Andrews, president of MDTCA, to come to the podium, please, to recognize some very special staff members.
Thank you. The You Make the Difference and Shining Star Awards are presented by the Madison District Classified, Certified, and Classroom Teachers Association and Madison Administration to recognize the certified and classified staff who truly demonstrate Madison's vision of inspiring passion for learning and leading in an ever-changing world. All right, and our first You Make the Difference Award recipient is Nancy Magnuson. If you walk down the hallways of Madison-Simus and hear a buzz of excitement coming from a third grade classroom, you have likely found Nancy Magnuson. Nancy does not just run a classroom, she builds a community. It is a place where hard work and heart are never mutually exclusive. In her room, you will see students leaning in, eager to share ideas, not because they have to, but because Mrs. Magnuson made them feel like their voices are the most important tools in the room. Every child who is taught by Mrs. Magnuson knows they are seen, valued, and safe to take risks. Nancy's approach to teaching is deeply rooted in the philosophy that everyone belongs. She did not just stumble into being a great inclusive educator, she sought it out. After diving deep into professional learning with experts like Dr. Shelley Moore, Nancy signed up to participate with special education leaders across Arizona on a statewide collaborative for co-teaching best practices. With her passion, she transformed her room to embrace the inclusive design model for teaching. When you watch her work with a co-teacher, it is a seamless dance of equals. There are no my students or your students, there are only our students. It is so effective that teachers from across the state now visit Simus to see her push and model in action. Nancy's impact does not stop at the classroom door. To her colleagues, Nancy is the one who listens deeply and then asks the questions that shifts the focus back to the kids. She is brave in her vulnerability. By being open about her own hurdles, she gives everyone else the green light to be honest and creative in their own problem solving. At the end of the day, Nancy Magnuson is modeling what it means to be a lifelong learner. She isn't just teaching third grade curriculum, she is bridging the gap between a textbook and the real world. By leading with empathy and an unshakable belief in every child's potential, she is not just preparing them for fourth grade, she is preparing them for life. Nancy Magnuson is a teacher who always makes the difference.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, I'm here tonight with my husband, Jonah, and my son, Cody, and, of course, co-teacher Karen Hoffman. And my third grade team is back there somewhere. Yay, there's my third grade team. And Lindsay and Ashley. I want to thank Simus for believing in and allowing inclusion and co-teaching to take place. It is really very special, and it's something that's dear to my heart, and I really feel like it supports all students. So.
All right, and our next You Make the Difference Award recipient is Teresa Turnquist.
You can come up and stand if you want to.
Some might say that middle school is the Wild West of education. It's a place where a single hallway can contain a viral dance-off, a heated debate over whether a hot dog is a sandwich, and at least 10 different students who have just lost a pencil, all before 8:45 a.m. To survive and thrive in this beautiful mayhem, you need more than just a teaching certificate. You need grit, grace, and perhaps a very specific sense of style. Today, I am honored to present the You Make the Difference Award to a teacher who embodies all of that and more, Teresa Turnquist. Teresa didn't start out in the classroom. She is a second career teacher who followed her heart into education, proving that it's never too late to find your true calling. She originally cut her teeth as a student teacher over at Rose Lane, but we were lucky enough to snag her for our Meadows family. Since joining us, she has tackled a schedule that would make most people's heads spin. On any given day, she is jumping from the complexities of 6th grade social studies to the precision of 5th grade math. She navigates the ancient world and fractions and variables with equal brilliance, ensuring that every student finds their footing. But if you ask her students why they love her, they won't talk about ratios or the Roman Empire. They'll talk about the door. Every single period, Teresa acts as a one-woman welcome committee. Whether it's a fist bump, a handshake, a high five, or a hug, she meets every student exactly where they are. In the middle of the daily school day chaos, she is their constant. Her kids don't just perform well because they want a high grade, they perform well because they genuinely want to please her. They know without a shadow of a doubt that she cares about them as humans first. To her colleagues, Teresa is the ultimate teammate. She is a fantastic collaborator who is able to synthesize her own ideas with those of her teammates. And this year, admin has seen her taking coaching ideas and immediately implement them into everyday instruction to the benefit of her students. Teresa also looks for ways to grow continually. This year, she has joined in the Gifted Book Study Lunch Bunch, led by the district gifted coordinator, and she volunteered for the simulated instruction in mathematics professional development, where she videotapes herself teaching for the American Institutes of Research. And of course, Teresa also brings a love of flair that we've all come to admire. Let's be honest, she is consistently one of the best dressed people in the school, while the rest of us might occasionally settle for exhausted chic. And we also have to appreciate her hilarious sense of humor, her dedication to spirit dress-up days, and her very refined palate when the staff gathers outside of school. Teresa, you are the mentor every student deserves and the colleague who makes the hard days a little brighter with a well-timed joke and an impeccable outfit. Most importantly, you are a difference maker who leaves a lasting mark on every life you touch. Please join me in congratulating our You Make the Difference Award winner, Teresa Turnquist.
Okay. Well, I'm here tonight with my husband, Steve, and my best friend, Jen. And she actually was a teacher at Simus, and now she's a nurse. Anyway. And this is such a great, this is such a great district to work in. Rose Lane, I was also at Simus as a student teacher, and Katie took a chance on me and has just, I mean, it's been such a gift. I love being here, and I love what I do. So thank you very, very much.
All right, and our first Shining Star Award recipient is Ashley Sarmiento. Ashley earned the Shining Star Award as our school library associate because she possesses a rare infectious enthusiasm for literacy that transforms the way students see the world. When she reads to a class, her face lights up. That energy is caught by the students, making even the most reluctant readers curious about what happens on the next page. Her impact goes far beyond checking books in and out. Ashley understands that for a child to love reading, they need to see that authors are real people with stories to tell. She worked to bring in guests like Mac Barnett, whose engaging and humorous presence turned a standard school day into a memorable event. By connecting students with the creators behind their favorite titles, she made literature feel accessible and alive. Ashley also recognized that some students needed a dedicated space to celebrate their love of reading. This year, she started a book club, giving kids a community where being a bookworm is something to be honored. In that circle, students learn to be inquirers and open-minded thinkers. They find relevance in the stories she selects specifically to challenge and inspire them. Her commitment to Simus is not limited to the library walls. She will often provide support to our Odyssey of the Mind teams, help fourth graders guide their research for exhibition projects, and on days when the school is short-staffed, Ashley is often the first person to step up as a guest teacher. She jumps in to save the day without hesitation. As a parent in the district, she is one of the school's strongest advocates. She balances her professional role with a personal investment in the community's success. Parents and students alike gravitate toward her because she always has a smile ready. Her heart for service shines through every interaction. Madison Simus is fortunate to have a librarian who works so hard to ensure every child feels seen, supported, and inspired to pick up a book. Mrs. Sarmiento is truly a shining star.
There, go, you gotta shake his hand. Just a rule breaker at heart.
Would you like to say something?
Oh, sure. If you're going to hand me a microphone, I'm going to use it. It is an honor to be up here after such amazing educators who are just up here. My daughter has Miss Magnuson. My son has Miss TT. I hear so much about them, and so to be able to be recognized after those two ladies is such an honor. I love teaching and I love being in the library. I was in the classroom for 15 years and always wanted to be a librarian when I grew up. So I want to thank Madison Simus for giving me the opportunity to do it because it's the best part of teaching. I get to buy books and read books and just love books and kids. So it's like it doesn't get any better. So thank you for letting this happen. Thank you.
And our second Shining Star Award recipient is Dawn Gorman. I want to set this up like Star Wars, but I'm going to bring it in. In the vast galaxy of a middle school campus, we have many moving parts. We have the planets, our students who are constantly spinning, sometimes losing their gravity, and occasionally crashing into one another. We have the comets, our administrators who are usually streaking around the hallways trying to put out literal or metaphorical fires. But today we are here to recognize someone who provides the steady, bright light that helps everyone else find their way. It is my absolute pleasure to present the Shining Star Award to an indispensable member of the Madison Meadows Ram Fam, Dawn Gorman. Dawn is currently in her second year with us, but she didn't just appear out of thin air like a supernova. She actually joined us after retiring as a middle school teacher. Now, we all know that middle school teachers who retire usually head straight for a beach or a very quiet mountain where no one can ask them for a hall pass, but not Dawn. She decided to bring her seasoned expertise back into the trenches as a one-to-one paraeducator. Because she's a veteran of middle school mayhem, she has the unique ability to support her specific student with incredible skill while simultaneously keeping an expert eye on the rest of the classroom. She's like a master chess player who can see 10 moves ahead, ensuring her student is navigating the general education curriculum with confidence and success. What makes Dawn a true shining star, however, is that her light doesn't just stay in one classroom. It radiates across the entire school. She is the ultimate team player, and we honestly aren't sure if she has figured out how to say the word no yet. Whether she is deep in the trenches of the front office, ensuring our cumulative files are organized and up to date, a task that requires the patience of a saint, or helping the team prep for the high-stakes atmosphere of state testing, she is there. You can even find her in the thick of the morning rush in the cafeteria, calmly monitoring the breakfast while the rest of us are still trying to find our first cup of coffee. We often talk about luck in education, but finding a retired pro who is willing to dive back into the middle school world to support our students isn't just luck, it's a cosmic alignment. Dawn, you have a rare gift for making hard jobs look easy and the most chaotic mornings feel manageable. We couldn't have asked for a brighter light to join our constellation. Please join me in congratulating our Shining Star Award recipient, Dawn Gorman.
Okay, I'm here tonight with my daughter and friend Claire and my fiance, and I just want to let you know that I did retire from public school system of 31 years teaching, and for some reason I thought that I had to have another career besides teaching, so I went to a doctor's office to become a receptionist, and soon after that my daughter had told me that, Mom, you're not supposed to always be in a bad mood. You're in an unhappy place, and you need to go back to your happy place in education. And so I am so grateful that she encouraged me to come back, and living close by, this was where I wanted to come, and I'm very grateful for the Madison family and welcoming me, and I can't say no to any staff member because I've been there and I know how difficult it is. So whenever they need anything, I'm more than happy to welcome them. I'm sorry, this is very emotional.
That's all right. You have the floor, my dear.
I'm like, in my 30 years of teaching, I've gotten awards, but for some reason this one is like extra special. And I just feel like this is my happy place and this is my home, hopefully for the next 10 years. Wow. Yay for us. Thank you. Clark, did you write those? Spot on.
Congratulations to all of our award recipients. I have to say, not that I'm like doing any measuring, but that is probably some of the most beautiful writing, I mean, and painting a picture of the work that our award winners do in the classroom. I'm going to cry. Like, it was just really impressive. This is also when we tell all of our lovely audience members that as much as we appreciate you being here, if you were just here to recognize and appreciate the award winners, we would not be in any way upset if you needed to leave to eat dinner or whatever it is that you want to do. So that's just your...
Feel free to stay.
You can stay. We welcome you, but you certainly may leave. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be... The superintendent. Oh my gosh. I'm clearly a very tired person today. Nah, Dr. Guerin, I am so sorry.
No, we have each other's back. We're a team. It's great. President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, truly, I want to echo what you said, President Kazi, because my heart is full. We have such amazing people in this district and truly are a family. It is the heart of testing season right now. Spring is flying by. Please remember that state assessments are so important. School attendance is so important. Every day counts. Please check with your school for your child's assessment schedule. This is one of my favorite parts of Superintendent's Report. I get to introduce some amazing educators in new positions. Our first recognition today is for Mrs. Shannon Smith. Currently serving as the Assistant Principal of Madison Traditional Academy, Shannon is stepping into the vital role and big shoes left by Keisha for the Director of Community Education. We are thrilled, and I know Deputy Superintendent Barb Marshall is very thrilled to have her expertise on the educational services team. Shannon, please come to the podium so we can recognize you.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Guerin, and guests, standing here tonight, my heart is very full. Thank you so much for this opportunity. The warm welcome and enthusiasm I have received from the community education staff and my Madison colleagues is truly humbling. I'm so honored to be serving in this role. I also want to take a moment to honor Keisha. Her leadership and dedication to this community have made community education what it is today. And I'm committed to building on what she has created, and we're working together to make this transition as smooth as possible. As we look ahead, community education will continue to be a place built on relationships, innovation, and the high-quality experience that our students and families deserve. And to the CE staff, as a parent who has experienced these programs firsthand, I know exactly the impact you have on the families that we serve. The heart and professionalism you bring to this work every single day is something truly special. And I'm excited to be a part of this team, and I could not be more proud to lead this work with you. I want to thank my family who's here with me tonight and the incredible mentors I've had the privilege of learning from over the years. It's because of your love, support, and guidance that I'm able to stand here. Thank you all so much.
Next, we want to celebrate Principal Lindsay Murray. Lindsay is transitioning from her leadership at Madison-Simus to become the new principal of Madison-Camelview. We are so grateful, Lindsay, for your continued dedication to our district students. Lindsay, please join us at the podium. Oh. I think we can skip to Miss Bowman for a moment. Finally, we are pleased to announce that Ashley Bowman will be stepping upward at Madison-Simus. Having served as the assistant principal, Ashley will now lead the school as the interim principal of Simus. We know the school is in great hands. Ashley, we're so excited to recognize you.
Thank you. Good evening, President Kazi, members of the board, Dr. Guerin, and members of cabinet. I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for the trust you've placed in me in appointing me the interim principal at Madison-Simus for the upcoming school year. It's truly an honor to step in this role and to continue serving a community that means so much to me. I would like to recognize Ms. Murray for her exceptional leadership. Her dedication to students, staff, and families has shaped Simus into the strong community that it is today. I'm incredibly grateful for her mentorship and for the intentional way that she's prepared me for this opportunity. I'm committed to upholding her vision of high expectations for all students and continuing the important work that she led. I'm also thankful to the governing board for your continued support over the years, dating back to my time as a teacher. Your commitment to our school and to our leaders within the district has made a lasting impact on my growth and development. And finally, I'm grateful to the Simus community for the opportunity to serve them. The support I've already been receiving from families, staff, and students throughout this transition has been uplifting and deeply appreciated. It reinforces what makes Simus so special. Thank you again for this opportunity. I look forward to continuing to serve our students and the community with dedication and care.
And now, Principal Murray, please come to the podium. We are so excited for your transition to Camelview.
Thank you for your patience as I was celebrating outside. President Kazi, governing board members, Dr. Garrett, members of cabinet, thank you so much for the opportunity. This is going to be my 12th year in the Madison School District. And when I came to Madison, I came from a Title I school. It's where I worked for 8 years. It's where I really feel I connected most with myself as an educator. And in my time in Madison, I've had the opportunity to work at the district office, to serve Madison-Simus as both the assistant principal and principal, to work with an amazing community of educators, of parents, and of people who are passionate about supporting students. And when the opportunity came to explore the possibility of moving to Madison-Camelview, and I shared my desire to return to Title I with Dr. Guerin, it was something I couldn't stop thinking about in my heart. And it was something that, while I never thought I would be leaving Simus now that my children are there, I couldn't say no to the possibility of returning to what gives me joy as an educator when I went into the career, and having the opportunity to work with a new school, to inspire them to continue the work that they do every day, to bring their compassion and their dedication to holding all students to high standards. So I'm eager for the opportunity to work at this school. I'm eager for the opportunity to continue my journey as a leader in Madison, and I'm very grateful for all of the wonderful people I've had the opportunity to work alongside, including you all, and the support that you've given me. So thank you for your trust in me, and also for ensuring that Mrs. Bowman could make that smooth transition, because it makes it so I could go in my heart and know it's going to be a good thing for everyone. So thank you.
I also want to congratulate Jason Piankowski. He is the new chair of ATAC and Director of Research and Evaluation. He has been appointed to the Accountability Technical Advisory Committee. What does that committee do, you ask? Except have a very long, complicated name. They are in charge of the letter grades, the A through F accountability system. And we know how complicated and interesting and tenuous that work is. So I don't know whether to say congratulations, Jason, or you got this. But we are so proud that we have such a high level of expertise in this area in our district, and we know that he will steer that ship focused on what is best for students and best for school districts. So he truly is such a gem in our school, and we're very proud of his work throughout the state. So congratulations to him. Well, if you did, yes, let's give him a big round of applause. So Madison Top Chef Year 2. On April 8th, we hosted Madison Top Chef at the Madison Center for the Arts. The talent was exceptional, particularly the way our chefs incorporated their family cultures into the dishes. We look forward to sharing those recipes with you shortly. I did not have to go home and have dinner that night. I'm telling you, they were tremendous. I loved how the professional chefs that were our judges were just so touched by the level of commitment and professionalism, up to our first grader who couldn't even carry the big tray full of her food. It was adorable. Thank you, Board Member Gresham, for emceeing. She did a great job chatting up the contestants and the chefs, and to the food services team for their hard work. They worked side by side, helping the students put together their dishes in the cafeteria, getting them over to the theater. Thank you, Mr. Thompson, also for your leadership with that. So it's just really an amazing experience. I also want to talk about a similar experience that we had, similar this evening. I recently had the pleasure of attending Madison No. 1's Children's Business Fair, and it was a resounding success. What made this event so special that it was entirely students conceived and student-led. It was executed in wonderful partnership with the Madison Education Foundation. It's just so great that we have a foundation that's willing to hear student ideas, team up with them, with Mr. Brownlee, and make it happen. We had 19 unique booths. I had a really good time shopping. I came home with jewelry, crocheted items, 3D gadgets. It was such a big success that we're excited about discussing expanding to other middle schools. So we continually find ways to give students voice, creativity, and bring their learning to life. I want to lastly end up with, don't forget to get your tickets to the gala. Get your cowboy, cowgirl hats and boots on. We're going to do some two-stepping, listen to live music. It's going to be a great time, and it's Saturday, April 25th. Get your tickets now on the Madison Education Foundation website. They can continue to do things like the Children's Business Fair with your financial support. And lastly, Dr. Lomeli, I will not forget to mention that it is hiring season. We just recently had a very well-attended job fair. Be sure to check out our website if you are interested in joining the Madison family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Guerin. We'll move along to governing board reports. Let's start with Ms. Thompson.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wanted to reiterate my congratulations to Mr. Piankowski on leading ATEC. I, for one, know what that entails and appreciate his leadership, not just for our district, but for the whole state. I know that we have students at the track meet this evening that I think is wrapping up soon, so I want to congratulate them and all of our student athletes in spring sports that are going to be wrapping up here in the next couple weeks. And looking forward to all of the events at each of the schools where student showcases are going to be happening in the coming weeks. So that's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Ms. Gresham, do you have anything?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yes, also congratulations to everyone in their new roles. It's so great that we can give everyone these opportunities to try other things and to grow in their careers. So congratulations. And to our award winners, of course, I'm still really impressed with Miss Clark's descriptions of middle school, which were spot on. They were amazing. And thank you for our Simus showcase for our Shark Tank. I have my items up here that I got to purchase today. So that was a lot of fun. So thank you for everyone that made that happen. And similarly, I was at the business fair for #1, which was also a lot of fun. I remember seeing Ms. Gossett leaving, and she's like, "Watch out, you're going to go buy a lot of stuff." And I did. And though that, yes, so that was brought up to us to the foundation, and I was like, yes, please, let's do this. And but it was open to every school, so those kids would have been amazing at it. And so hopefully we'll do it again. And it is open to any student in the district. Because it was, and it put on by the foundation. So I would love to see more of our students do that next time. And then Top Chef was a ton of fun. And I don't think I had ever been to the final before. And so our students did amazing. And I actually did not get to try the winning dish. So Jordan, you owe me one of those meals because it looked amazing. But they were all great. And so congratulations to him and thank you to everyone that made that happen. So I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gresham. Mr. Hunt?
Yes, first to everybody, administrators, teachers, students that have been involved in state testing, great work as we continue that effort. I know I've had 2 exhausted testees coming home to me the last couple of weeks, and I know the teachers and administrators are just as tired doing that hard work, but it's really, really important for us. So thank you for diving into that. For folks that are looking at making a move and coming to have a career in Madison, I would just look to the incredible folks who we noted tonight who are promoting within the organization, that you can come here at any point of your career and stay here. So that's not common in this field right now. So if you're looking for a place to make home, please come make Madison your home. We'd love to have you. To the sports folks, it's the end of the season. Good luck as they get into the playoffs. And I will note, having been a victim of the Madison Meadows varsity boys baseball team, if you're looking to watch really good 8th grade baseball, go watch that team play. I've never seen a team as good as they are, to include hitting 4 home runs off my son. But I'm proud of him. He hung in there and kept looking at coach like, "Come on, coach, you got to pull me out," and he didn't. So I was like, "You showed grit, son. Stay in there." But really, good luck to everybody as we get to the end of the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Mr. Holcomb?
Yeah, I also wanted to recognize the showcase that we had. Those kids and the bravery that they had there. And a couple of kids had to fight through it, and they did. I mean, there are some that were natural salespeople, but what was most impressive to me were the kids who it got them first, and then they came back and they did their sales pitch. My daughter was like that, and I just that perseverance, and that was just phenomenal. I actually, watching not just the award winners tonight, but also seeing the progression of the education professionals in through the Madison system. I mean, a lot of times this is a chess game, and it's a multi-tiered, multi-level chess game, but also the fact that we have people who want to stay and work in Madison and come back, to the education in Madison, but our ability to be able to make those maneuvers and have people who are so dedicated, and particularly the dedication to wanting to go back to a Title I school, because that's where their heart is. It showed a lot about, I think, the culture here and the heart and dedication of the people that we have in the Madison School District, and I couldn't be more proud. With that too, I'm hoping to go to the gala. I'm going to have a lot of friends there, and I hope to embarrass every one of them while we're there. I have the denim, but I actually found a diamond bolo tie, so I can get that. And I also want to make sure that people know another great thing we have is the Madison. They're going to have Dinosaur World tomorrow. I got a chance to wander out on the stage tonight, and there are dinosaurs on the stage of the Madison tonight. And tomorrow we're going to have a whole theater full of kids to see it. And tomorrow night, families can come and see it too. And I'm planning to be there. I was fortunate enough to get a 7-year-old who's going to sit next to me, so I get to share the joy of that as well. But we are so lucky to be able to be part of just a community like this, and it makes me very proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holcomb. And unlike the Children's Museum of Phoenix, you don't have to have a kid to go to that production. So there's that. And I just wanted to mention, Mr. Hunt, that Meadows baseball team, they've had ringers for a number of years. It's not a new thing. It's kind of intense. I do want to reiterate congratulations to Shannon Smith, to Lindsay Murray, to Ashley Bowman, and to Jason Piankowski. It's amazing to see our incredibly talented staff members grow into different positions and continue to support the district in different ways. And Jason has been, oh my goodness, when I was on the A to Z task force, A to F task force, where we provided as a kind of a public body to provide some guidance to the State Board of Education, I remember hearing him provide some testimony to that group. And I guess I don't think I was on the board at that time yet. And of all the speakers, there were a few that were also at his level, but at a state level, he is astounding. His knowledge, his intellect, his ability to present in a way where people that might not agree with him initially will listen, just so very talented. And I think that's all we have. Let's move along to our consent agenda. Is there a motion to
Move to approve the consent agenda, finally.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. Please vote. And that motion carries. Do we have any calls to the public tonight, Ms. Humphrey?
We have no calls to public.
All right. Then we will move along to item 7, information items, 7.1, 21st Century CCLC update. Dr. Guerin.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, I'm happy to turn this item over to Deputy Superintendent Barb Marshall.
Thank you, President Kazi, members of the board, members of cabinet. We are certainly grateful to be the recipients of the 21st Century Grant, but also very proud of the work that the community education team put into not only applying for this competitive grant, but implementing the program over the past 3 years at Madison Park. So tonight, to share the highlights of the grant, we have Keisha Breiling, our Director for Community Education.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Guerin, cabinet, and guests. Our 21st Century program at Madison Park is in our 3rd year. It is a 5-year grant, and so we're just here to present our annual showcase of how things are going and where we have been and where we are headed. So just as an overview, the 21st Century program is funded through the 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant, which is a federally funded grant that has posed some roller coaster type decision making the last year. But we were able to go through with the funding that we have for now. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The focus of 21st Century is academic enrichment and whole child development. Youth development is one of the requirements of that grant. We've served students consistently both during the school year before and after school at Park, as well as a few weeks over the summer for the past 3 years. And it's designed to support students outside of the school day and over summer through an engaging environment. So we're not just doing more classwork, but we're supporting them in engaging opportunities. One of the requirements of the grant is student participation. So in the first year of grant, we had a little bit of wiggle room. We only had to meet 75% of the requirements. But the expectation is that we require that we are operating 120 days of programming. So that's partially school year and then partially summer. And then the regulation for attendance is that we have to have a minimum of 100 students that are attending at least 30 days or more of programming. So what you'll see over the last couple years, we have many more students than that attending programming. They might only come to club 2 days a week. They might only come to summer club and not school year club or those types of things. But from the grant perspective, they count if they are in attendance for 30 days. So you'll see we've grown our students, total students, and then the number of the 30 days. The 25-26 school year on that right was pulled just after spring break because we met that 100 benchmark. So we were really excited about that. We are obviously past that at this point and are on track to exceed that 125 students of the 30 days of attendance. Because this is a focus on academics, we do have to set up a few goals. One of them is math, and one of them is reading, and we have to track that through a variety of different benchmarks. So this is the first year we had the grant, the 23-24 school year. You can see in that top row were the 75 students that did make it to 30 days. So again, not all of our student attendance, but those students that met that threshold, versus the students that are attending Madison Park that did not participate in the 21st Century program. So we're looking at the median achievement as well as their growth from fall to spring, and then the percentage of students that are growing more than 50%, which is that school year growth. So that means they're making gains on what they may be behind. And then you'll see the numbers in reading and math. So our first year was very strong, and we've been able to continue on some of those things. So this is 23-24. Going forward to 24-25, lots of numbers today. You'll notice that there was a little bit of a pivot in the growth scores that are different between the 21st century students and the non-21st century students. So we did a lot of work with the leadership team at Park, trying to go through, okay, what can we do? Do we need to provide different classes? Do we need to look at different supports? We looked at some of the curricular supports that we already have in school with Lexia, those types of things, and then tried to make them more engaging so that we could try to make some more growth on those. Obviously for 25-26, we were wrapping up testing season, so when I submitted this, I didn't have all of that data for 25-26, but as of the winter data, we're still seeing that growth where our students that are participating in 21st century are having those higher growth scores and the median percentiles versus the students that are not attending the 21st century program. We understand that 21st Century program isn't the only reason these students are excelling. We have a great partnership with the teachers at Madison Park, and we work with them on a regular basis to say, okay, what's going well in class? How can we support that? The teachers at Park are so energetic to build on things. There's never enough hours in the school day to do all the things that they want to do, and they are gung-ho on trying to find ways to support students both before school, both academically, and tying those enrichment classes in to support the goals that they are. So we are appreciative of Ms. Gossett and the leadership team at Park to continue to provide those. When we had to write the goal, we had to select a target population. When we wrote this in 22, we wanted to target those students that are chronically absent. So those students that are missing 10% or more of their school days. So how we target those, we have the list of students. We directly send out emails to them, say, hey, this is the opportunity that we have. How can we help get you to school? We do offer transportation to our after school clubs as well as our summer clubs to help eliminate any barriers they have for those. And so we've noticed that although the school park average is getting better, and we're happy to be a part of that solution, now we're still operating about 20% better from a chronically absent perspective than the students that are not participating in 21st century programs. A little bit of a blip last year. Again, we looked at how we can target those students to make sure that we get them to school. Sometimes they come to school in the morning to watch birds and they stay all day. Sometimes they really want to go to their robotics class after school and they know they have to come to school to be able to participate in that club. So we're really targeting those chronically absent students and seeing some success, not only for our 21st century students, but also for the entire park community. We have the 3 goals. We've talked about math, reading. We also have a youth development goal, and so this just kind of tracks the types and amounts of classes that we have been offering and increasing those year after year. Kudos to the park teachers for volunteering to see what the students are interested in and find a way to get those clubs, and to Miss Jess, who is willing to entertain any ideas that come her way about, sure, let's see how we could do that. We're going to build a go-kart for kiddos to drive around Parks campus. Anything that we think they'll be engaged in, Miss Jess finds a way to help make that happen. Another part of the grant is the parent and family engagement. We know this is huge. We know that often at an elementary school level, it is the whole family community that is involved in getting kids to school on a regular basis and building that understanding of how important daily attendance is. And so we have done a variety of things. Our first year, 24-25, doing things like Parent University. We can count some engagement through parent surveys, participating in the park STEAM showcases. And we really started talking about, okay, parents, how can we help engage you? What will get you to school to help participate in your child's education? One of the things that came out of our survey was, well, I want to see what my kid's doing. And so out of that first year survey kind of bore that Bring Your Parent to Club Day. And it's been one of our most successful events where parents get to come to 21st Century Club with their kiddo, and their student will teach them how to play chess, or will show them that the art project they're working on. And that's been a really great event that we've managed to continue year after year. So you'll see from year to year, 60%, 75%, and that 81% is as of January, and we still have STEAM Night in May coming up, so I know we're going to capitalize on a few more families. This is a huge celebration for me as I'm looking at the grant and the goals that we have. The goal for family engagement is one that is given to us by 21st Century. It's not one that we create on our own, unlike goals. And the goal that is given to us is a minimum of 30% family engagement for the students that are attending more than 30 days or more. So when we hit the ground running, doubling that, and are on track to likely triple that this year, has been a great testament to the work that the 21st Century team over at Park is doing. The other part is there's always, and I'm pretty sure most grants, the sustainability component, or how are we going to keep things going. So we've been working hard on community and program partnerships. We have a variety of vendors that bring different types of activities into the school. This is a great opportunity when we might not have a staff that has expertise in a specific topic, so we can bring in those vendors. It's something different for students to come in and say, oh, well, this is new, I didn't think about that. So we have quite a few of the vendors that come into programming, local organizations. We do partner with food service for our snacks, and have a variety of partners that are coming in, both within the local organizations and within Madison. So that's been a focus that we've had, and something that we are going to continue to focus on going forward. I mentioned earlier that this is a 5-year grant. The first 3 years are funded at 100%, which is at about $120,000 per year for the first 3 years. Year 4 and 5 decreases to 75%. So we're down to $90,000 for the next 2 years. We can't reapply early. We can't do anything to kind of meet those needs. So we are working very hard to try to focus on ways to increase the sustainability, doing things with different partners, volunteers. We're partnering with MHP to help have students come in, and just finding ways to keep the programming going, support the teachers that are spending their time before and after school. We're going to continue working on that to make sure we can keep this program going. We're always looking at academic and enrichment programming. As we've talked about tonight, middle school is a moving target sometimes, figuring out what the kids are interested in, what they want to do, what staff we have available to provide those opportunities, and continue to look at our testing data and see how we can support the needs of the students in our program. I think we're doing pretty well on family engagement opportunities, but we are always looking for new ways to get families on our campuses. We are participating with the school integrated action, the school improvement plans, getting ready to go into our summer, working with Mrs. Gossett and the leadership team to look at data and say, where can we be of support? Was that time or that opportunity that you don't have time during the school day, and how can we outside of school hours come in and support the needs of your students? So Park is going very, very well. We don't have any data back yet, but we did apply for the 21st Century grant again for Madison Camelview, and for the first time for Madison lane. So we are hopeful that with continued funding from a federal level and with those grants, we will find out later in the summer if we got one or both of those and can utilize some of the framework that we have set up at Park to shift that into an elementary level and see what we can do to support those other two campuses as well. And that is all I have for you, so I will entertain any questions you may have.
Thank you so much, Ms. Freeling. Excellent presentation. So much good work is being done, not just because of the grants, but just because Park is just an extraordinary community with some extraordinary, obviously, educators. Questions? Oh, my goodness, Mr.
Okay.
Hunt.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Just really impressive kind of watching, the data points like increasing in a positive direction. Really great demonstrating how thoughtful the programming is in terms of scaffolding up to meet the needs of the grant and of course the needs of the students, which is what's most important. As you look at an uncertain federal funding landscape, are there components that you think can become sustainable going forward, that could be retained in an uncertain landscape? And what components do you think are unsustainable absent some federal funding?
So the bulk of our funding for the grant as well as the overall district budget is staff salaries. We have a variety of teachers both during the summer program and before and after school that the grant is primarily responsible for funding those hourly rates for those staff. So that is really difficult to maintain without a direct financial donation to those programs. I do think there are some other ways that we can look at community partners, obviously from a fiscal perspective, but also from come share your expertise. Do you have something to share with the kiddos, and are you willing to come in, 2 days a week for an hour after school to share something that you love with middle schoolers that, might spark a passion for a future career field or something along those lines? I think we can branch out into some of those community partners a little bit more. We have a great relationship with MHP that does also need some more mature adult guidance, right? You have middle schoolers with high schoolers. And so having an adult there to help facilitate, hey, we're going to do this, but having an extra set of hands, that's a great partnership that we have there. I think there are some options from a community ed perspective that we can explore. What can we share responsibilities for? Right now, Ms. Jess has the responsibility of being the coordinator for the 21st Century program, and so she's responsible for all of the grant documentation and the paperwork, but also the typical things like, okay, making sure everybody gets snack today, making sure everybody got home and picked up on time, or if somebody has a fever, those types of things. I think there may be some opportunities that we could share there with community ed from site coordinators that are already being funded out of community education. So trying to figure out how we can reserve the fiscal resources that we do get to pay staff salaries, and then look at more of the logistical and maybe some of the supply things that we might be able to have either donation base or share with existing staff.
Mr. Holcomb.
Yes, I was very glad to hear that you're looking at ways to keep this going afterwards, because this program, more than just being a specific program, I think as you're showing with the parent involvement, this really helps build the culture of a school. And that I'm, looking at when this grant disappears, or that you'll have that foundation to keep building upon that. I would be interested in hearing just a little bit, if I could, from Ms. Gossett about how the impact she feels on the school has been. And I had to work to say Ms. Gossett because I know you as Priscilla. But
It's fine, Mr. Holcomb. President Kazi, members of the governing board, Dr. Guerin, cabinet, thank you for the opportunity. The impact of 21st century, as you've seen, it didn't make as much with the absenteeism that we thought it was going to make, but there are just some environmental factors that are really big to overcome. But in terms of the data and the interests, and I'm not only talking about interest from students, but interest from staff, it's made a big impact. It's, as you were saying, Mr. Holcomb, really added to the culture of our school, where parents, you see there's 2 pickup lines now, one after school and one at 5:30 to pick up all the kids from the club, and it's a very long line. and kids are enjoying the offerings. Teachers are getting creative with what they can offer. We just had a field trip to the Hassayampa River Preserve where we took kids to Wickenburg, and talking about kids dialed in to birds. They were dialed in. And so it's a profound impact. And I'm glad we talk about sustainability, but there's just no way $120,000 can just walk away and everything be sustained and kept intact 100%. So we'll work with Keisha to try our best to do what we can and reapply for the grant. But it's made a huge impact and a big difference, not only on culture, as I was saying, but on the achievement of the students and just opportunities for kids to do things that they would never get a chance to do. So participate in the light parade a few years back, go to the Hassayampa River Preserve, go to a field trip in the summer, bring people into us, like the Fly Guy, bring other agencies in where we had the cooking in the summertime with a lot of our summer programs. So just the different opportunities and the exposure it's giving to students, where they also get another chance to practice their agency, what we're always talking about. It's been amazing. Thank you.
If I can, just one more, something you mentioned too, I'm also very glad that you're applying for this for Camel View, because hopefully if you're successful in that, that can help with the transition from Camel View to Park. I know that in the past, getting those types of bridges, particularly in the Camel View Park community, has been an issue, and looking for ways to really build on that bridge more.
Yeah, one of the things that was written in the Camel View grant, and we did apply for both Camel View and Rose Lane, but in the Camel View grant, one of the things that we tried to show that we were trying to use our money wisely is the summer camp program that we have to offer as part of the grant for the 4 to 5 weeks, depending on holidays and those types of things. We're going to have that on one campus. And so the idea is, let's let the Camel View students come over to Park and see, our new state-of-the-art facility that they have there, be able to play in a big gym, be able to participate in some of those science labs that they might not have access to as a typical elementary school student. And then we only have to open one cafeteria and have one set of custodians and have one set of bus drivers and those types of things that we can make that money stretch a little bit further. So that was something that we intentionally wrote into the Camel View grant to collaborate with those two sites together. Going into summer programming, we do invite the Camel View 4th graders that are going into Park 5th grade. And so once we enroll the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at Park, we do invite the incoming 5th graders from Camel View to participate in that summer program ahead of their start in the Park family. So that's something that we're working on, and we do have a few students that are enrolled.
Yeah, well, and I know in the past, we've tried to have programs at Camel View that fall over to Park, and because I know the Park, the brother and sister will talk to the Camel View brother and sister coming up and say, this is fun, start participating in that. And I think that if you can really build upon that, that'll also help with the absenteeism issues.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holcomb. Ms. Thompson.
First, I wanted to say thank you to Miss Jess. My kids have participated in this program in the 2 years that they've been at Park, and they both have loved the activities they've been involved in, even when they're drug away to do whatever sport they have tapped to do, and have sometimes had to be pulled out of those sports. As I think I've mentioned before, I have a child who wakes up early every Friday to go to Bird Club, and he loves it. And all the kids who are in Bird Club love it. And I heard all about the trip to the Hassayampa. And not so many birds, but they saw a turtle too. But they were all very excited about it. And these opportunities are just they're so wonderful to be able to connect with other students that they might not have classes with, to build that community, to build community with the other members of the faculty. It's really wonderful. I hope that we're thinking long-term about, federal dollars being as reliable as they are these days. Other mechanisms, like you said, either donations or even, I know you can't charge parents, but there might be some parents who would be willing to make a donation towards supporting that work, because I know some parents rely on it as aftercare because they might be taking advantage of MAC, but since their kid's going to be in an after-school program, they're taking advantage of that too. So I'd encourage you from that kind of business side of the house of thinking about who might be willing to recognize the value of that, and even though it's free, maybe make a donation in support of.
Thank you. I have had a brief, Miss Jess and Mrs. Smith and I met yesterday to kind of start talking about those, what does the landscape look like? What happens if we do get the Camel View or the Rose Lane grant? What happens if we don't? And so we can continue to have those conversations.
I just have a quick question for you. Who is the fly guy? What does he do?
Oh, the fly guy is awesome.
The fly guy, we've participated with him from a community ed perspective for years, and he comes and teaches kids how to make anything and everything fly, from paper airplanes to rocket ships. And so a very heavy physics mentality of, what happens if we do this, and what happens if we do that, and what happens if we weight it, and what happens if we do something different. And the kids love it. It's a very hands-on, engaging opportunity for them to trial and error and see how things happen. And then I am spoiled in that my office window looks out over the park football stadium, and I can't tell you the amount of times I'm like, what are we doing today? I'm just gonna watch out my window and see things start flying through the air. So it is a great opportunity for students.
That's awesome. That's not where I was going. I was like insects or like fishing lures, but I did not think.
You have no idea how many paper airplanes of different types I have in my house from the fly guy.
Age for that. Thank you.
I just have a few questions. So the Family STEM Night, tell me a little bit about Inspirato Education.
Inspirato Education also came from something that we used through community education. There is a vendor that comes in and brings not only the materials, but also activities to engage students and think through just things that they wouldn't think through. So we've had salsa challenges where they might have to have a little kind of minute to win it game, and then if you win the minute to win it game, you might get a couple tokens, and then you took them to go take the tokens to the store. And so you might only have enough money to buy tomatoes, but this team might have enough to buy the onions and the jalapenos and stuff, and you have to take it back and figure out what you're doing. Everything from naming your salsa or a restaurant that you'd send it to. And so it is a fast-paced, a couple hours opportunity for you to engage with your kids. I think parents get to see their kids in a different light, sometimes competitive, sometimes creative, and how they can navigate. So we've done things from salsa. We've done things where they've been able to build backpacks where they can put different things to build backpacks that we ended up donating over to Camel View. I don't know if you have things that glow.
Very cool. So excellent. And so just as we talk about kind of long-term sustainability, I'm curious if you've thought about working with nonprofits that might consider this an outreach activity because, for example, the Audubon Society, their long-term mission is obviously preservation, and we know humans tend to care about the things that they know. So if you know a little bit about birds, you actually might care about them. And what does that mean as you grow older or become a policymaker or whatever your life leads you to do. And so I'm curious if you've thought about reaching out to them to try to figure out if there are ways to sustain this program with their support, with their volunteers, because it certainly is a mission of what they do. I also think of the Blue Watermelon Project, as they bring in chefs, is so to find places to fill in potential gaps, because They are focused on health, teaching long-term healthy eating, but also, producing the next generation of people that are going to work in kitchens and own restaurants and be top chefs. So I just am curious if you thought about that. I know that is a whole other job, frankly, right? But if that is something that's in the mix as you look towards the future and how to fill in that funding gap.
Those are conversations we started having. We initially thought about what kind of community partners we could have early on in the grant. And often, because it was our first year, there's a little bit of hesitancy of, we were still trying to figure out what we were doing. And so there's a little hesitancy of partnering sometimes in some newer programs. Now that we have that third year under our belt and we have, increased student attendance and a large amount of family engagement in our community, those are the things that, as I mentioned, are going to be our focus for the upcoming year on how can we expand those community partners. There's not a community partner out there that's going to, likely do $120,000, but if we can go through and say, hey, you can teach this class 2 days, or can you, donate materials for this, or can we do, I know Mr. Bilger, who did the bird watching, did a GoFundMe for the binoculars, right? So like what, 5,000 here and 5,000 there adds up after a while. So that is something that I've met with Jess and we've talked about being a focus after summer programming for 26 is over. That's where we're going to start for the upcoming year.
But I mean, I encourage you to think big, because if you build an Audubon, there's no reason why this idea of a bird club in every middle school, like for someone like a Cannon, you never know where it will lead you. And when you are the first idea, resources tend to be thrown on you because you're trying to build an exemplar, right? So just, again, I know it's a lot, but just, you might be surprised at what the potential opportunities are. I encourage you to think about, for our faith-based community, like having some specific asks, because I think people tend to respond best to, this is specifically what we need. If you have people in your congregation with these skills, these passions, we would love to talk with you, because I think people know how to deal with that, as opposed to trying to think of like how I can help. And then I encourage you to think about a specific tax credit ask program where we are asking the community to fund this specific purpose, because I think we have a very strong case that is something that people that no longer have kids in the system, in the K-12 system, but have a tax credit every year, we're always looking like, who's the biggest need, what's the best case that I can support. There's no reason why we don't do a story on this in North Central News with a specific case, a specific ask, and the money goes specifically to this purpose. Thank you.
That's great. I wonder if that's something the foundation could help with too.
We had a conversation about the foundation and the grants, and is that an opportunity for maybe art supplies, those types of
Well,
things?
they're expanding not just to arts too, so and also just partnership with, we have a lot of people with connections in the community. So
But think about tax credit. You
that's
get 100 tax credits at the full family amount. I mean, it is a significant source of funding, and we are leaving so much money on the table on that front, in my mind. We just have to have strong cases out there that people can read about and get behind, and then, email their friends. You need to direct your money. Here's the portal. This is what it's going to go for. Here's a video about the impact it's making in our community.
the greater community.
Again, like all the Audubon members, like, where are you sending your tax credit dollars to? Like, this is a specific connection to the things, the mission that they care about.
And I think we can find a way to have students create that. We had them create a commercial and kind of some videos last year, so that's a great project to say, hey, these are the cool things we're doing here in this help.
Right, because when your mission matches theirs, magic happens. Yes. Mr. Holcomb.
Yeah, can I build on that real quick too? I've been successful in the past too for trying to fund projects. We're going to people who donate and go and say, if the school raises this much money, will you match it? I mean, that is a hugely strong sell, and you can do that. The schools have with the tax credit. I did that, taking kids to camp and things like that. But also, there is a resource there. You find, particularly since you've got such a strong family, you're building that family involvement, which again, hopefully becomes part of the culture. Non-monetary support from the families, and even, building the PTO, but give them a focus instead of just general focus, the things that the families are involved in. Support that. I think you have the formula for a very strong program, and whatever you need to support that, we want to support it.
Yes. Anything else? Thank you for that most outstanding update.
Thank you.
All right, moving along to action items. Item 8.1, District Support Health Insurance Plan for 26-27. Dr. Guerin.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests. Before this item, I just want to thank Dr. Lomeli and the whole committee that worked a lot of hours to try to find the best possible package for our employees. We know it's so important. So I'm turning it over to Dr. Lomeli. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guerin. Madam President, members of the board, cabinet. We bring before you our proposal to approve ASBATE as our district-supported health insurance program. We convened a large committee back in September to be proactive and review potential insurance options for our district. And what we discovered through that process was that our ASBATE program is a very good program, and employees in general are pretty happy with what ASBATE has to offer. In particular, we have lots of wellness that's embedded in our insurance. In the end, what it came down to is we had to really just look at what the cost is, and ASBATE came back as a 5% increase, and that was lower than the other insurance carrier that we evaluated. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Are there any questions for Dr. Lomeli? Seeing that there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposal as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved. Do I have to state? It's been moved. I'm sorry. Moved by Ms.
I've been whispering it over.
It's been moved by Ms. Humphrey and seconded by Mrs. Thompson and seconded by Mr. Holcomb. Please vote. You guys need to remind me of these things. I'm trainable. I really am. All right, moving along to item number 8.2, science curriculum adoption. Dr. Guerin.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, this will be the second read for the science curriculum adoption. Ms. Marshall.
Thank you, President Kazi, members of the board, members of cabinet. There have been no comments received since the presentation at the last meeting. Laura Webb, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, and Courtney Loya, our instructional coach for science, led the committee, and you saw the results. The committee is asking that we approve Activate Learning and also the Open SciEd for open resources for teachers based on the key strengths that they found from the committee. And tonight we ask you to approve that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marshall. Are there any questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the science materials for grades 3 through 8 as presented.
So moved.
It's been
Second.
moved by Mr. Holcomb and seconded by Ms. Thompson. Please vote.
I won that one.
Absolutely. Do we have to vote individually? Or we can vote together? Okay. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
We got it. It's
Oh.
coming up. She just wants you to say that it passed.
Oh, the motion carries. Boy, this system. The motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 9, future meetings. Dr. Guerin.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, we only have a few meetings left for this school year. We do have one more meeting in April. We will have an executive session at 5 p.m. I'm going to talk slower since Danielle is opening up the meeting. There we go. So we have a food service wellness update for you, a Madison Highland Prep report, and it's time to discuss ASBA proposed political agenda. We will also potentially talk about bond sale authorization. In May 12th, we will have district budget. Oh, there we go. We will have our first district budget revision meeting. And then we're going to move right into promotions. And then we'll have our June meeting, which is our longer meeting where we have an executive session and study session and a board meeting, and that's on June 9th.
Dr. Guerin, I just wanted to thank you for adding that wellness and food services update. There's been a lot of talk in the news about the massive change in the number of families who are SNAP eligible, and I know that has a direct impact in the number of students who are participating in free and reduced lunch and how we try and capture those kids that are still hungry. So thank you for adding that to the agenda.
Absolutely. Any other additions or questions about the agenda?
I do have a question.
You're
And this is one of personal privilege. I have the opportunity to sing with my barbershop chorus at Camelback High School at their final concert. We're partnering with them, and the concert starts at 6:30. That would be happening later. I just wanted to double check on the May 12th meeting. It looks to me, and I understand, be a relatively short meeting if you talk fast. I think because we've gotten through revision, I think if that's okay, I'd like to.
We will do our best.
Okay.
And if some people are short-winded instead of long-winded.
Just not that we're saying anything about it. All right, any
Not-
additional questions regarding future meetings? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Ooh, it's been moved by
Second.
Ms. Gresham, seconded by Ms. Thompson. Please vote. And that motion carries unanimously. We're adjourned.